On June 19, 2023, the Oceangate submersible commenced its descent to explore the fractured remains of the Titanic in the northwestern Atlantic. This video uncovers the full story surrounding the tragic implosion of the Titan submersible, exposing the hidden relationships between entities like Boeing, NASA, and Starlink. It delves into the unfortunate fate of the victims and explores the reasons why the submersible failed to bring back its occupants alive.
A tragic end in the search for that missing submersible. The U.S. Coast Guard says that on its way to view the Titanic wreckage, the sub imploded, they believe, about halfway down.
All 5 passengers on board are presumed dead at this point. Fox 10's Mark Martinez joins us now with the latest information.
These are the untold and hidden truth about the design, production, deployment, and testing of the ill-fated Oceangate Titan submersible that suffered a catastrophic implosion in the quest to an underwater graveyard. Take a seat and enjoy this insightful video to the end. The submarine was carrying 5 passengers and 1 crew member, all of whom were killed in the accident. This is the true story about the Oceangate Titan submersible. The discovery of the Titanic sparked renewed interest in the disaster and led to a series of expeditions to explore the wreck.
It ended where it began, 400 miles off the coast of Newfoundland. The great ship went down after striking an iceberg. Never a trace was found. That mystery was explained today. The Titanic is 2.5 miles beneath the surface. Scientists in a miniature submarine made the discovery early this morning. Mark Gage reports.
The ship is believed to contain billions of dollars worth of gold and diamonds. But the people who found it have no intentions of raising the ship. They intend to solve the mysteries behind the location of the shipwreck and also seek the United Nations to declare an underwater memorial for the passengers of the ill-fated ship. Oceangate expeditions came into play in 2012 when Stockton Rush, a wealthy explorer, founded the company. He has always been fascinated by the universe and space exploration. He grew up dreaming of becoming an astronaut. However, despite his passion for space, Rush never realized his dream of becoming an astronaut. After graduating from college with a degree in aerospace engineering, Rush applied to NASA's astronaut program several times. He was always considered a strong candidate, but he never made the final cut. The reasons for his rejection were not publicly disclosed, but it is speculated that Rush's entrepreneurial spirit and unconventional approach may have been seen as a risk by the more conservative NASA leadership. Undeterred by his setbacks, Rush pursued other avenues to fulfill his desire to explore the unknown. He became a successful businessman and investor, amassing a significant fortune that allowed him to pursue his passions. His company, Oceangate Expeditions, offered deep-sea expeditions to the Titanic. The company's flagship vessel, the Titan submersible, was designed to withstand the extreme pressures of the deep and provide a glimpse into the Titanic's watery grave. On the 16th of June 2023, the expedition to Titanic departed from St. John, Newfoundland, aboard the research and expedition ship MV Polar Prince. The ship arrived at the dive site on the 17th of June. The dive operation began on the 18th of June at 9:30 a.m. For the first hour and a half of the descent, Titan communicated with Polar Prince every 15 minutes, but communication stopped after a recorded communication at 11:15 a.m. The Titan submersible communicates with the surface support team using an acoustic modem. Acoustic modems transmit data using sound waves, which can travel much farther underwater than radio waves. Stockton Rush even boasted about the company utilizing Starlink for connectivity in the deep dive submersible. 4 individuals paid $250,000 each to embark on the expedition. The team embarked on a remarkable journey into the depths of the Atlantic, their submersible, the Titan, carrying their dreams and curiosity to unearth the secrets of the sunken Titanic. The passengers who embarked on the Titan submersible expedition to the RMS Titanic were required to sign a comprehensive liability waiver before boarding the vessel. This waiver was designed to protect Oceangate Expeditions, the company operating the expedition, from legal liability in the event of any injuries or deaths that occurred during the trip. The waiver outlined the inherent risks of deep-sea exploration, including the potential for equipment failures, decompression sickness, and drowning. It also stated that the passengers were voluntarily participating in the expedition and that they assumed all responsibility for their own safety. The passengers were Pakistani businessman and his son Shahzada and Sulman Dawood, British businessman Hamish Harding, French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, and Stockton Rush, the CEO of Oceangate Expeditions, who also is the vessel's operator. Titan communicated with the mothership, known as the Polar Prince, every 15 minutes, but communication stopped after recorded communication at 11:15 a.m. The submersible was expected to resurface at 4:30 p.m., but it didn't. At 7:10 p.m., the US Coast Guard was notified of the missing vessel. The Navy reviewed its acoustic data from that time and passed the information about the possible implosion event to the Coast Guard. Titan had up to 96 hours of breathable air supply for its 5 passengers when it set out, which would have expired on the morning of the 22nd of June 2023 if the submersible had remained intact. The United States Coast Guard, United States Navy, and Canadian Coast Guard led the search and rescue efforts. While many submersibles are equipped with an acoustic beacon that emits sounds that can be detected underwater by rescuers, Titan did not have such a device. According to an internal US government memo, a Canadian CP-140 Aurora's sonar picked up underwater noises while searching for the submersible. The US Coast Guard officially acknowledged the sounds early the following morning, but reported that early investigations had not yielded results. The US Coast Guard said the source of the noise was unknown and may have come from the many metal objects at the site of the wreck. Aircraft from the Royal Canadian Air Force and United States Air National Guard, a Royal Canadian Navy ship, and several commercial and research ships and remotely operated underwater vehicle also assisted in the search. At 1:18 p.m. on the 22nd of June, the US Coast Guard's northeast sector announced that a debris field had been found near the wreck of Titanic. The debris, located by Pelagic Research Services Odysseus 6 KROV 5 hours into its search, was later confirmed to be part of the submersible.
1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
At 4:30 p.m. at a US Coast Guard press conference in Boston, the Coast Guard said that the loss of the submersible was due to an implosion of the pressure chamber and that pieces of Titan had been found on the seafloor about 1,600 feet, which is about 500 meters northeast of the bow of Titanic. But what could have caused the catastrophic implosion of the Oceangate Titan submersible? Well, the materials used in the Titan submarine have gotten a lot of critical views from experts in the industry. Titanium is often used for constructing deep-sea submerged equipment and structures due to its corrosion resistance and ability to withstand high-pressure environments. But Oceangate's Titan was different from most submersibles. While most submersibles have a spherical hull, which is better at handling the huge pressures of the deep sea, the Titan had a pill-shaped hull that could fit more people inside, which means more money per explorer. The ill-fated submersible also used a cheaper material for its hull, carbon fiber. Most submersibles use titanium, which is more expensive but also stronger. However, Oceangate CEO Stockton Rush revealed that the carbon fiber material utilized for the Titan hull was sourced from Boeing. Additionally, he asserted that the design for the Titan submersible was crafted by NASA. It was later disclosed that Boeing offered the carbon fiber material to him at a reduced price, citing that it was beyond its shelf life for use in airplanes. After the tragic incident of the Titan submersible implosion, Eyes were raised to the past statements of Stockton Rush about NASA designing the submersible. But NASA has distanced itself from claims by Oceangate that it was involved in the development of the Titan submersible, claiming it only carried out remote consultations and did not manufacture or test Titan sub. And even University of Washington and Boeing denied any involvement with the ill-fated vessel. It turned out that the company exaggerated the details of the industry partnerships behind the development and engineering of its Titan submersible. Titan had a carbon fiber cylinder in the middle and titanium hemispheres on the ends. This meant that there were joints between two different materials, which can be tricky to seal properly. These design choices may have made Titan more vulnerable to failure. A tubular hull shape is not as good as a spherical one at resisting the pressure that builds up as you go deeper into the ocean. A bigger hull also needs to be stronger and thicker than a smaller one to survive the same pressure. Despite the dangers of deep-sea exploration, Stockton Rush designed and built the Titan submarine using off-the-shelf components and a simplified control system.
We can use these off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
A former Oceangate's Director of Marine Operations, David Lockridge, was sacked in 2018 after raising concerns about the safety of the company's Titan submersible. Unfortunately, the safety concerns raised by industry experts proved to be the tragic factor leading to the demise of the submersible's 5 occupants. Days later, the debris of the ill-fated sub was lifted from the bottom of the ocean with the help of an underwater remotely operated vehicle.
Wreck has been brought up to the surface. It has been recovered from 2 miles down and transported to shore in Newfoundland in Canada.
The Coast Guard said it will transport the evidence recovered from the North Atlantic to a US port where medical professionals will conduct a formal analysis of the remains. The evidence will provide investigators from several international jurisdictions with critical insights into the cause of this tragedy. This is the real story of the Oceangate's Titan and how it embarked on a journey of no return. Ongoing investigations are being conducted regarding this incident, so to stay updated on this story as it unfolds and to receive more content similar to this, please consider subscribing to this channel.